Hi everyone, this is Lucrezia from Blogging for New Bloggers, and I'm so excited to be interviewing Carly Campbell of MommyOnPurpose.com and Blogging Like We Mean It today. Hi Carly, thank you so much for
Hi.
joining me. Yeah. Carly, I know that's I really appreciate you being here today because I know with kids it's very hard, and I have a 7-month-old girl on my own, so I know it's a big ask. So I really appreciate you joining in today. Carly is one of the most successful bloggers out there. For real. I mean, her blogging style is so unique. She got a sense of humor, she's witty, she's quirky, but she's also one of the smartest and astute bloggers. She's the most unassuming and genuine person.
Thank you.
No, it's for real. Like, you're so successful, but you're still so down to earth. And you have a raving fan base, but Carly is also well respected in the blogging community by all the other established bloggers. I remember, for example, Ruth, the founder of the EBA, at the conference, and taking Carly's blog, MommyOnPurpose.com, as an example of how to do things right. And so I'm so excited that I will be guest posting on your blog soon. So Carly makes 6 figures blogging, but you rarely see her promoting her stuff. But at some point I thought maybe you don't even need to do that, because one of the things that amazes me is that, usually bloggers, they promote their things, so they put their affiliate links and recommend stuff, and, they do that. But with you, in your Facebook group, Blogging Like We Mean It, I'll send the links, but everyone knows it anyway. But anyway, in your Facebook group, people actually go there and say, hey, Carly, do you have a link for this? Carly, do you have a link for that? Can I use your affiliate link to buy that? Or like when Carly posts something, like she makes a post, and then within 5 minutes, she gets 200 likes and 40 comments. And, she really has the most engaged audience you will ever see. So I thought of inviting her today to discuss why it's so important to nurture the relationship with your audience and build up an engaged tribe instead of, constantly relying on new traffic or worrying about changes in the social media algorithms or, that. So I see that there are some live viewers. You always are welcome, guys, to actually, there are a few comments of people. If you could add the your name at the end, because if you haven't registered on Real Life, unfortunately for privacy things, we can't see your name. So add your name at the end so that we can welcome you by name. You are welcome to ask questions. Carly is willing to answer all the questions that you might have. Now, everyone knows Carly already. So you're kind of a celebrity in the blogging community, but I still like to start each interview with a bit of introduction. So if you could, Carly, please tell us, about your background. What's your story? How did you start blogging? And
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for all the kind words. This is incredibly good for my self-esteem tonight. Audrey's here too. Hi, Audrey and Drew. I see those comments. My background, let's see. So I've been blogging since early 2016. When I started, I had no idea really what a blog was. I knew that, like, when I used Pinterest, when I clicked through the pins, I would get to these articles that were written by what seemed like everyday women, moms, people who had other jobs, and that it really just seemed like if they could do it, I should be able to do it. So when I found out I was pregnant, or when we decided to have a baby, I decided that I would rather try to stay home and never go back to work. I never had a career outside of my blog. I never had a good job, so it was not hard to not want to go back. So I started a blog. I had no idea what I was doing. I bought all kinds of courses and I did all kinds of things wrong to start. I don't think I got 50 page views a day for the first 6 months, probably.
Really?
I had, you see people saying like it's slow to start. It was really slow for me to start. I completely rebuilt my site twice in the first 4 months or 5 months because I just couldn't really couldn't get anywhere, or I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. But I just decided to give it a real shot. So I told myself if I could make $10 by Christmas, and I had started in January or early February. So it was just about a year. I told myself if I could make $10 in the first year that I would keep going. And about 9 months in, I made a whole bunch more than $10. I made real money. So I decided that I would just put everything into it. And I've never looked back. I just love my blog.
We love it too. But the peculiarity about your blog is that it's a mommy blog, but you also have a blogging audience. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so that was kind of an accident. My mommy blog was doing really well. I was making the real money that I mentioned, and all of that money was traffic-based. And there's nothing wrong with traffic-based income, except for that we all know traffic-based income can fluctuate wildly, and it can also feel really, really difficult to scale. Well, it feels that way because it is that way. If you want to scale traffic-based income, you have to grow more traffic, and we know traffic can be a challenge. So I knew I needed, and everyone talks about it like an email list. But instead of saying email list, I prefer to say engaged audience, because if you're just emailing people who don't want to hear from you and who aren't engaging with you, that's the same as having it's the same as not having an email list, really. So I don't say email list, I say engaged audience.
There is a question, I think it's Drew. You might be, like everyone knows, Drew Duboff. I actually had him a few weeks ago as an expert here on how to scale your blog. And he's asking, how do you manage 2 different audiences effectively?
Well, the truth is that it is, especially when you're starting to engage with an audience, it is really, really hard to manage different audiences. I would say, honestly, if you don't have any kids, or if you don't have, another job that you have to do, if you have a lot of time, basically, then it's not that hard to manage 2 audiences effectively, because you can, write 2 sets of emails. You can start 2 Facebook groups in 2 different niches, and you can be active and you can respond to all the comments. But if you can only give one niche all your attention, just choose the niche that you have the most to offer in. And so on the mommy blog, I actually don't have an email list for the mommy blog, because everything that I write about, and so all the people that come to read my blog, for the most part, I'm like very much in the trenches, and I'm writing about it like from my own experiences as they happen. And so I struggle to feel like I can provide value in an email or answer questions in a Facebook group on a day-to-day basis, because I feel like I'm the one that needs the questions answered for the most part. So because I'm not the expert there, I chose to only engage with my blogging audience. And I never intended to grow a blogging audience. What happened was I was doing well on Pinterest, and I wrote this Pinterest book, and I gave it away to some people. And one of the women that I gave it away to kept saying, "Will you let me sell it? Will you let me sell it?"
Come on, you can say what your book is. It's Pinterest strategy. Like Marina was, she's actually has a Pinterest at the moment. Is a free Pinterest course, but then she's building up a premium one. So my sister Marina blog with her, and she said is probably the only one. I wouldn't say, because I can't put words in her mouth, but she told me you really give a good strategy. So, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but because you can say you can promote your stuff.
Thank you. Well, so I wrote Pinterest Link Strategies, and so I let her sell it. I didn't even sell it, but the people who bought the book became my first engaged audience. And I started emailing when there was about 200 people that had bought the book. I started sending emails to them, and when they would email me back, I would respond. When they would, when they would reach out to me, I would be a human. I emailed so many like big bloggers when I started with questions, and I can count and tell you specifically who answered me back on one hand. Like, there's a real lack of blogging niche teachers that are like reaching out to other people and taking time to talk with other people. And I mean, the more you grow, the more difficult it is to answer all your emails and engage in all your Facebook groups and stuff. It gets more and more difficult. But at the beginning, when you're just starting, it is not hard to answer, 10 emails a week or 5 emails a week or whatever.
And you're great at that, but why do you think it's necessary? Why do you think engaging your audience is so important?
Oh, well, I think, for the same reason that 3.5 years later, I still know who it was that emailed me back and who it was that didn't email me back. When I am going to look for somebody's opinion that I trust, I automatically default to those people who took the time to talk to me. This is a real person. This person is interested in more than just making sales. This person actually cares that I'm entrusting them with my money. When we say to our audience, I took this course, this is a good course, buy this course, or I wrote this course, I think it's a good course, buy this course. When we're saying those things to our audience, what we're saying is, do you trust me enough to give me $90? Do you trust me enough to give me $150? And I think that people want to know that there is a real person who actually cares about more than just the dollars on the other side of any blog page or any email or any Facebook page. And people crave connection. They want to know that you've experienced similar things to what they've experienced. They want to know that when you make a recommendation. So I like to use the weight loss niche as an example because as a woman, it feels really relevant. If you've had a baby or if you've just eaten too much dessert, you know what it's like to feel uncomfortable in your body.
That for me, that would be
7 months. You have time. You can give yourself some grace. You look fantastic. But who would you buy a weight loss program from? Would you buy it from somebody who doesn't seem like they've ever been there or even tried the program or could possibly understand your struggle or what you're looking for in a program? Or would you buy it from somebody who is a real person who has felt those feelings of frustration with their own weight?
So absolutely. But what do you think? Is there any way to do that in a simple way? Like there are, I don't know, for example, platforms or channels that make it easier to engage your audience, do you think, in your experience? Or it doesn't matter, the platform is more really like the relation that you build, so it depends on the person? Or you found that there are some ways where it's much easier to be able to nurture that relationship or to get to know people better, or so they
definitely. I mean, the first and most important thing is it depends on where your audience is. So if your audience is on Facebook, then Facebook is a good medium for engaging them. If your audience is on Instagram, Instagram is a good medium for engaging. Pinterest is not really an engagement medium. We think of Pinterest as a social platform for traffic, but it's not a place for engaging. I know a few bloggers who've had good success engaging their audiences on Twitter, but I think that the number of audiences that are on Twitter are limited. So you have to know your own audience. Where are they? Email, if your audience opens email, then that's a good way. So the three that I like to focus on, because I think for the most part, you will have success with one of either email, Facebook, or Instagram. I think that's where you're going to find most success.
And I think your emails and your Facebook group are definitely some of the best in the whole blogging community.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen that in your the Instagram module of your course is in collaboration with Kate Rosales, who I know
Yes.
as well. Yeah, she's a member of this group as well. So
cool.
Yeah, if you're seeing this, hi.
Yes, it wouldn't have made any sense for me to write the Instagram module because I find that I can get enough engagement with my audience through email and Facebook. You don't have to feel like you have to do it all. Yeah. If you're having great success on one, that's good.
But like I've never done Instagram.
No,
I've been blogging for a while. I never done it, but now after I took your course, I thought maybe I should start. I don't know. I should look into that. And then recently, Ben and Jeff have started there. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe I'm missing out on something. I'll look into Instagram.
And you probably are. You're probably missing out on the potential for some engagement with some people that maybe aren't on Facebook or maybe aren't reading your emails. But the greatest thing about an engaged audience is that unlike traffic, you don't need the sheer volume of engaged people that you do of traffic. So if you're having success on, you've got a huge Facebook group here. It's massive. You've got huge reach. So, if you're having good success on one platform.
Actually, I want to do something. My Facebook group is different than yours. So I think I have a shy audience. I don't know, for some reason. So I post something. And let's say I promote something that I really believe. I only promote something that, I tried myself and I loved it. And then no one reacts. But then 10 minutes later, they buy it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So it still works. But I have the opposite. Is a Facebook group that converts a lot. Is really monetized. But at the same time, they're shy. they never try, So, and I can see that it comes from there because first of all I can see the names, but if the platform allows, depending, but still you can see with Bitly, I see all the conversion where it's coming from. But yeah, I have a shy audience though. They write to me in private. I receive lots of emails, for example, and I'm engaging with my, with the new bloggers that I help through emails. But yeah, it's a strange Facebook group. But what I like about it is that within them, they collaborate a lot. They form lots of friendship. They start collaboration. They get support with each other. So it's a really, really amazing community. But yeah, so I am doing the Facebook group. Your emails are fantastic. Your email list, your.
Okay. I think that email is a wonderful medium for communicating with your audience. I think that it's easier to use email to communicate well in any other niche besides the one that I'm in and the one that you're in, because a lot of the people that we're talking to in email are a little bit jaded because they're getting spammed by bloggers blogging about blogging, and so I actually think that our niche is a little bit harder. In any other niche where they're not on 75 emails. If you just talk in your emails like you're a real person and you use those feeling words that we talked about, express that you understand what they're going through. It can be a very, very powerful way to reach your audience, because some people don't want to be on social media. I actually get a lot of people, and you probably have noticed this too. Whenever I send out an email that says, here's a link to my live video in the Facebook group, people actually write back and they say, I don't want to watch a live video in a Facebook group. Can you just tell me what it's about? Because they don't want to be on Facebook. So
with me, they like the replies. I think it's probably because of the stage they're at in their blogging journey. So probably people are still working during the day or nighttime, depending on their shift. So they don't actually have the time to join us live. Right. So that we provide. Actually, I've just started a YouTube channel, and then I post the videos there so that they can do on their own time. And YouTube is different because you don't even have, it's like Google basically. So it's not like a social media platform. But the thing is that I don't promote things. So too many people that actually have a YouTube channel where they can watch the replays. I should do more of them.
I just listening to you say this, I was just thinking in my head, like, oh, a YouTube channel or a podcast. What another awesome way to engage your audience, because you're just giving people another opportunity to see your face, and more convenient than Facebook for sure, because like you said, you don't need to be on Facebook. So like, it's just another really good way to engage your audience. And if people feel like you are meeting with them, seeing a person's face is so important for engagement. I know email doesn't allow that, but Instagram and Facebook and YouTube certainly do.
So you gave so many tips on how to do it, but have you noticed that if there is a pattern of people doing it wrong, like is there any common mistakes that people make in engaging their audience, or in not in like lack of engagement with the audience? And what would you recommend doing instead, if you notice like some common mistakes that bloggers usually make in this area?
I think the most common mistake made at the beginning with email is thinking that your emails can be as broad as your blog is. Now, some people start out with a super, super, super niche blog, but most people don't. Like, even if they don't have a broad topic blog, they still have a broader niche than you want to email about. Like, if your blog is toddlers, and that's a pretty narrow niche, right? Like, we're just saying, those 2 years between infancy and older, just toddlers, you still won't find very many people who just want to hear about everything toddler. You're posting toddler potty training, toddler food ideas, toddler activities, you're posting toddler sleep things, and you will not get a lot of engagement if you email about all those things, even though you're staying in your lane with your niche. Because when I want to talk to somebody in an email, when I'm going to take my time to open my email, I mean, you might get lucky and a few people might be interested in toddler food and toddler sleep. But for the most part, when people are signing up, they have one problem. And the problem is not that I have a toddler. Like, that's not the problem, right? So you've got one problem. You want an email series about toddler sleep. You want to engage that person. And once you've got them engaged, here's the really amazing thing. Once you've got them engaged and you are like kind of buddies with them, you can introduce new topics. You can say, hey, we're friends now about toddler sleep. You liked what I had to tell you about toddler sleep. Now we can talk about toddler food too. Totally. You can totally do that. And they like you and they trust what you have to say. So they're going to be interested in what you have to say about toddler food. But you need to start your one-on-one communication in a narrow place.
So you're saying basically to segment your list and to focus on, so is it, you need to have one list that is focused, or is it more like you can have a broader list, but then the emails that you send needs to be segmented? So you will send toddler stuff to that
it's totally up to you. Like, it's totally up to you to do it however way you feel is easiest. I think that for people who are just beginning, it is the easiest thing to start one list. Don't even bother segmenting it. Just have your one narrow list, just toddler sleep. And then after that list has grown, there is some beauty in numbers. Once your numbers are really big, once you have that engaged audience, like I said, they already trust you about toddler sleep, you're going to become their go-to person for toddler anything. But to keep that engagement in the first, however long their problem is lasting, a few weeks, a few months, you can't be all over the place. You need to be on topic to keep their engagement, and then you can branch out. So I wouldn't even have, for a very beginner, I wouldn't even have multiple segments to start. I wouldn't set up toddler food and toddler sleep and toddler activities. I would just set up one and I would stay in my lane with that one for now. And then when you're comfortable with email and engagement, go ahead and add other segments then if you want.
Yeah, that's I think, yeah, the most people don't do that. They just send emails about any kind of topic that they address on the blog, which is also, what do you think? Like, even the blog, because you signed that on the blog in itself, you can't really engage your audience.
No, yeah,
it's
not for engaging.
So on the blog, are you, because there are two school of thoughts, right? Is the one that think that a blog must be very, very niche down, and others say, no, you can write about anything. Does that make a difference on how you engage your audience? Because it can still be through an emails or your Facebook. Speaking of Facebook group, I'll put the link of your Facebook group as well. So do you have a niche for your blog, or it doesn't really matter?
Well, I am of the opinion that you can write about whatever you want on your blog, and that doesn't affect your audience. Like, you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, you can't post that on your blog, it will confuse your audience. And I'm like, it will not. They will not see it, because nobody's going to your homepage unless you have a huge engaged audience, and then, that's a completely different situation. So I think that you can post whatever you want on your blog with the understanding that it can affect your SEO. So if you just write 30 blog posts on 30 different subjects, then Google will never like you. So you need to have that understanding. But I write about all kinds of pregnancy and postpartum and toddler and life at home, like housekeeping things and saving money. And then I write a little bit about blogging too. And nobody cares that it's, that it's multiple subjects. I think that Google is like honing in on like 2 or 3 subjects that they give me credit for, and they kind of ignore the others. But that's SEO, and that's a whole like future subject.
Yeah, it's a different thing. And for like my big takeaway from you seems to be, because everyone says, content is key. Great, content is key. But it seems to me that you're saying, and in your course as well, that of course you need to have great content, but at the same time, the relationship that you build with the people that are reading your content is crucial to your success, right? So it's not only the content, it also what you do with the content, how to build the relation after that. It can't just be left at the content that you have on your blog and that's it. You will never really, build something so successful with just that. So do you explain this very well in your course, Engaging Your Audience. Can you tell us a bit more about your course, what you cover, what it is, how it's going?
Sure, I can do that. I never talk about my courses, so it's unusual for me, but I can do that. The Engaging Your Audience course is designed to help anybody who wants to get off the hamster wheel of traffic generation, because yes, your content is very important, and your content is what generates your traffic. But I think a good way to look at it is this way: if you are getting 1,000 page views a day to poor content, then that'll generate you ad money. That's fine. If you're getting 5 page views a day to really good content that connects you with your reader, then that could be 5 email subscriptions that you get a day, or 5, new true fans. So when you look at it that way, you don't need to have the same kind of numbers to get an engaged audience as you do to make ad money. So the course is, it walks you through like the basis of understanding why having an audience that's engaged with you will be more beneficial in the long run than having a lot of page views. And it gives you some things to think about how you would monetize that engaged audience. So like, would you be an affiliate marketer to those people? Would you have your own product to sell? Would you use your amazing engagement to get brand sponsorship? So it gives you ideas of how you can monetize your engaged audience. And then it goes much deeper into the three main avenues that I think are great for people to start engaging an audience, and that's email, Facebook, and Instagram. And now that you've mentioned it, YouTube, and I think potentially could be added to the course in the future once I have some experience with it.
Yeah. I don't know. Because definitely, I agree with YouTube. I don't know. I just started, so I have no idea. But it seems a bit more like you need to have a. I don't know how much you can. I don't know. It's too early. So I have no idea.
It's too early.
But I would be curious to see what you write about it. So yeah. So
about YouTube, yes. I know. I would have to try it and see. I just think, like, I think of those people who don't watch the Facebook Lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's more of them than I think there is. And I think there's a few. I do wonder, like, would they watch YouTube then? And is that a good way? Because the thing that email is missing is your face and you're human. Like, yes, we put a lot of effort into our emails. Yes, we make them human. But I think that people really, like, here's not, you guys can't really see my office because the screen is like narrow like this, but like I can show you.
Let me do this.
Here's my here's my diaper box, and for my yeah. So this is like 3 diaper boxes stacked on top of each other, and it holds my microphone, and like that's very fancy. My 3 diaper box stand, and I think that it has helped people in my audience to see that, like, you see all these people on YouTube and they've got this beautiful backdrop with like motivational posters. Yeah. And I have 3 diaper boxes on it.
As one of the most curated working space, blogging space.
Someday I will have one. Someday I will have a curated blogging space. It's my goal. Up there on top of my bookshelf is 2 beautiful wooden shelves that I will hang up, and they will be there. But like, look, and here's like this mattress topper on my floor that I have there because my kids come in and they like lay on the floor while I'm working. It's like a bed for them. But like I think that it really helps people when they see that I am a real person working in real life situation here. Very, very real life. There's nothing curated about this, and it's unfortunate, actually.
No, I agree. It can be another great channel, because if you think about it, the 2 that you mentioned in your course are Facebook groups, where you have the interaction, the person, the human interaction, and Instagram, where you actually show a bit of what's happening in your life, like behind the scenes. And
totally.
YouTube, so no, it makes totally sense. So I love to start using YouTube a bit more.
Maybe about how it goes for you, because I think it could be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So do you, when I'm thinking, like I would want to go on and on because I got you, and I want to ask you questions, but I'm thinking, like, I know that it's very light there, and you have toddlers, and so I don't want to keep you longer. But where can we go to learn more?
So the Engaging Your Audience course is available on blogginglikeyoumeanit.com.
I will to put the link to your Easy Hunting Vicky.
No worries. And you have a coupon code to share.
Right. Thanks. Yeah, thank you so much. So
no problem. I think that the course is very affordable already, because I want new bloggers to have this information, because I think that this information the thing that makes the difference between so frustrated and chasing traffic and actually knowing where to start to scale your income. So I've kept it at a lower price, but I also love coupon codes.
I know. That's so generous. I appreciate that, because it's your course is one of the best ones, like all of them.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
My favorite one. But you really keep them reasonably priced. And now giving our viewers this extra code for extra 10 off is like, it would be really silly if they don't, jump on this.
You tell them that.
For so little money. So yeah. Claudia will add your link, but now I know that many have missed this interview, but we will I will post it on YouTube, the replay.
Right.
And I will also post on my blog, blogging for new bloggers. And but is there anything you'd like to add? Anyone that has questions? I think that Drew made a comment that made me laugh before. When you were talking about,
in pajamas, yeah. Totally. I think people want to know that we wear pajamas, just like they do. I also think if anybody is listening to this and they're like, oh my goodness, I just don't know where to start. One of the things that I would like to leave you guys with, just as like a jumping off place, when you don't know where to start with engaging your audience, look at your blog posts that get the really personal and feelings words comments. So I engage in my blogging niche, and I get a lot of feelings words like frustrated and excited in those blogging posts. So I know that that's a win. I also have 2 other niches on my blog that I knew that I could pursue and monetize if I chose to monetize them, but for various reasons, I chose not to. I'll share one as an example. In the beginning, I wrote 10 posts on living with anxiety, and I got engagement like none other on those posts. People were telling me about their anxiety. They were emailing me, and they were asking me my advice, and just sharing all of this inside stuff with me. And in the end, I decided not to pursue that niche because I was uncomfortable giving people what amounts to medical advice without any qualifications. So I just shut that down because I got very afraid of, as a lawyer, you probably totally understand why it might be foolish to pursue this niche. So I decided not to pursue it. But just the fact that engagement was there, those feelings words were there, I know that I could have made that into a profitable niche if I had been qualified. So if you're writing on your blog about anything that is getting people that are responding with feelings, you can collect emails on that subject and email, or you can start a Facebook group on that subject. If you feel like you have enough to share and you want to talk to people about this, start a Facebook group on that subject and put an invite in that post.
Yeah.
So
how do you check, do you go by Google Analytics or the comments, or how do you what's the parameters?
I mean, what's the telltale that that's a good niche? I would. Sorry, I'll hang on. Hopefully my husband will answer. When people are commenting on your blog and they're saying this spoke to me, or if they email you about it and say, I read this post on your blog, then that's usually a sign that those people are.
Again, this is what I want you to is again the personal interaction is not
the personal interaction.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
You don't even have to comment back to them on your blog. My blog doesn't even have a thing set up to tell them that I commented back. But just in your mind to know that those are the posts that are getting people, to interact with you, then that's where you can say that's the niche that I should email in or Facebook group in or whatever.
Which is basically more or less what happened to me when I started the second blog. It was we started with we still have the lifestyle blog because, as you say, I want people to see that they actually make money with things
You
that
know
I'm
what
not.
you're talking about.
So I still have the lifestyle blog so that they can see that I actually make money with humorous posts or lifestyle things. And so it's
Smart.
not because I'm selling, like the make money online thing. But at the same time, because that was so successful, people start asking me, how did you do it? How did you do it? And so instead of repeating one by one, I just started another thing where, you do it once. And, so I started a separate, so this Facebook group, for example, or now we have the second blog where we actually show what we do, like for like making things.
Yes, the credibility with your audience is huge. That's what I'm talking about, like with weight loss. If you can show them, look, here's me before I lost weight, here's me after I lost weight, let me show you what I did to make that work. That's your credibility. Just like, your lifestyle blog is your credibility, and it makes you a much more real person to your audience, I think. Very smart to keep it.
It looks awful. If you see my tinylovebag.com, you probably you've seen, because we talked about a few of my posts, but it is kept awful on purpose because I want to show new bloggers that you don't have to have fancy designs or things like,
That's amazing.
You can do it with any kind of blog. If you follow certain strategies,
awesome.
It's done it on purpose to keep it as if it was, from some, not amateurish, but not with because now I have a team, it's different. But,
right. That's so wise.
As a solo blogger kind of thing, even, so we didn't change at the moment, like the way that it looks, or, it seems,
I think that's so wise, because you're so right. People get hung up on the way the blog looks, and they never move past that, and they never make any money because they're just working on how the blog looks. And you're just like, just put it together and start.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love that.
Content, and you engage your audience in the right way that you can learn in your engaging your audience course. Then you don't need anything else, basically. Now, I know that someone was calling you, so I don't really want to keep you longer. If you want to add, you're welcome. I don't have, it's afternoon here. It's a beautiful day, so I don't have to do much. So we can stay here all day for me. But I know that there is night time. And
so it's about bedtime.
But thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate, and I will post the reply on YouTube and on the blog, and we'll go from there. So if anyone has more questions, then probably I'll tag you, I'll let you know so that you can give.
I would love to pop back in and answer questions.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Charlie. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Going in today, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Bye bye.